Last Sunday, Robert Ghiz, President and CEO of the Canadian Wireless Telecommunications Association, published an opinion piece in the Toronto Star, stating quite simply that Canadian telecom providers offer some of the best and most affordable telecom services in the world. Does that statement come as somewhat of a shock to you? Because it certainly does to me. I've heard basically the opposite for years. From my understanding, we Canadians have been unlucky enough to pay some of the highest rates in the developed world for the services that we get. Anecdotally, folks who live or have traveled abroad have always been quick to boast about how cheap cell phone plans are in Europe or how affordable broadband is in the US. So all of this past experience, hearing the opposite, has me a bit skeptical about Mr. Ghiz's claim. Plus, you have to keep this top of mind too. The Canadian Wireless Telecommunications Association, of which Robert Ghiz is the CEO, is actually a lobby group for the telecommunication companies like Rogers, Bell, and Telus. Now, that should get your spidey senses tingling just a little bit. So let's dive into the CWTA's claims and where they found their evidence. Let's look at some of the studies out there and come to our own conclusion. According to the Canadian Wireless Telecommunications Association, Canadian telecoms offer a great bang for your buck compared to other G7 nations. Let's put that claim to the test. Let's start with wireless services. Let's go back to 2019. The Canadian government commissions a study for price comparisons of wireline, wireless, and internet services in Canada and with foreign jurisdictions. They compared Canada, USA, Australia, UK, France, Italy, Germany, and Japan. There's so many different plans and packages out there that they essentially separated the different choices into 5 different baskets. Level 1 is just talk and text. Level 2 is 1 gigabyte of data. Level 3, 2 gigabytes. Level 4, 5 gigabytes. And level 5, 10 to 49 gigabytes of data. Let's look at what they found. Level 1, Canada was the second highest out of 7 countries that have the offering available. Level 2, Canada was the highest out of 5 countries here. Level 3, Canada was second highest among 8 countries. Level 4, Canada was second highest among 7 countries. And level 5, Canada was the highest among all 8 countries compared. So again, this study is from 2019, but it's not good. Essentially, Canada was the highest or second highest price for all 5 levels of service that they compared. That certainly doesn't sound like Canada is very competitive here, but let's keep going. One of the studies referenced in the Star's article, The Economist's Inclusive Internet Index for the year 2020. They ranked Canada 7th overall based on their blended scores across 4 categories: availability, affordability, relevance, and readiness. In terms of affordability, Canada ranked 3rd, like as in the 3rd best. So how did they come to that conclusion? Well, they ranked Canada 45th in terms of postpaid billing. In other words, we're not even close to being the cheapest. They ranked Canada slightly higher at 13th best when it comes to the actual price of smartphones. That's interesting. Still, how did Canada get ranked 3rd overall in the affordability category? Well, here's where it gets a bit ridiculous. Under affordability, there's 2 subcategories. One is wireless operators' market share. They rated Canada as tied for 1st in this category, stating that the wireless operators in Canada do not have a highly concentrated market share. In other words, they're saying that there's tons of competition. Okay, well at this point the study is losing credibility. In Canada, we basically have a 3-company oligopoly where new and small operators are pushed out or acquired. So I have no idea where they are getting that conclusion from. Then they have another category called average revenue per user. They ranked Canada 3rd in this category, like as in we have the 3rd highest average revenue per user, and they ranked that like it's a good thing. ARPU, average revenue per user, is a common metric, and it's basically how much we spend per person on wireless services in a given year. In Canada, that number works out to be about $509 US per year, according to the study. What kind of study, measures internet inclusiveness, but would award better scores based on charging customers more? Higher ARPU is great if you're the cellular operator, but horrible if you're the consumer. So basically, I can't take the study seriously. They come to some pretty dubious findings and they rank the wrong things higher. You can basically take this talking point and just toss it out the window. Now, Ghiz references another study that it uses to argue his position, a PwC report on understanding affordability of consumer mobile wireless services in Canada that was completed in 2020. It states that with the introduction of unlimited data plans in Canada in 2019, the price per gigabyte has fallen by up to 50% in some cases, and that overage fees, which don't apply to these plans, will make up a much smaller portion of the wireless carrier revenues going forward. But this argument is flawed. Just because the price per gigabyte goes down doesn't mean that the average cost of a cell phone plan goes down. All the big carriers have introduced these big unlimited plans, but you'll notice that the price you have to pay has gone up too. Go to TELUS's website right now. Click on plans. There's basically one plan. It's called the Peace of Mind plan. It's $80. There's no lower entry point here. No $70 plan, no $60 plan, no $50 plan. One choice and it's $80. Again, I get that the price per gigabyte has gone down because they are throwing in 30 gigabytes here, but this is how they're getting folks to spend more overall. Now, what they did in this study is they developed a special unlimited data plan index. It has 4 equally weighted components: speed, access to 4G, latency, and price paid per gigabyte. Canada ranked first by a wide margin in terms of speed, which, okay, I'm a bit skeptical here. Like, how could the US possibly be that far behind? But I'll accept it. Canada ranked 4th in terms of access to 4G, Canada ranked 3rd in terms of latency, and Canada ranked 3rd in terms of price per gigabyte. When you put all of that together, they use somewhat questionable methods to rank Canada highest on their unlimited data plan index. But it's a misleading statement in the star here where Ghiz writes, PwC recently ranked Canada first in the G7 for affordable wireless services. Technically, Canada was ranked first on this somewhat arbitrary metric that was blended, the unlimited data plan index, which almost feels like it was custom built so that Canada would come out ahead in the end. But even though the study is questionable, they don't even claim that Canada is the most affordable. So basically the claim here is just plain wrong. Now let's shift our attention to broadband services for a moment here as well. This is the internet delivered to your home. Jumping back to 2019, the study commissioned by Canada, the price comparison of wireline, wireless, and internet services in Canada and with foreign jurisdictions. In this case, they split out the service offerings into 6 distinct baskets based on the download speeds available in the plans. Level 1 was 3 to 9 megabytes, level 2, 10 to 15 megabytes, level 3, 16 to 40, level 4, 41 to 100, level 5, 100 to 249, and level 6 was 250 to 500 megabits down. This was about a year before there were even faster options readily available, like gigabit speeds and so on. So how did Canada stack up? Well, level 1, Canada was the lowest, but only US, UK, and Canada actually offer it. Level 2, Canada is the second highest among 4 countries. At level 3, Canada was the 3rd highest among 6 countries. Level 4, Canada the 3rd highest among 7 countries. Level 5, Canada 2nd highest among 7 countries. And level 6, Canada 2nd highest among 7 countries. So I suppose Canada does perform slightly better here compared to wireless because in some cases we're 3rd highest instead of the 2nd or 1st highest, I suppose. But in reality, it's just not a good look, and it doesn't convince me that we have some of the most affordable options in the world. Now, one of the studies the article brings up in a negative way is the 2020 cable.co.uk research on the price of fixed line broadband in 211 countries. It rates Canada 154th in terms of the average cost of broadband per month in US dollars. They looked at 29 available packages and came to the average price of $76.14 per month. Obviously, that's just the average. On the low end, you've got $27. On the high end, it goes to $135. Again, all in US dollars for comparison. That certainly checks out in my books. Just look at Shaw's pricing, for example. Their lowest plan is $50, and then you can go all the way up to $165 Canadian. By the way, I did a review of Shaw's Fiber Plus services a while back where I go over the price versus the value. So if you're interested in that, click the link above. The Toronto Star article calls into question the quality of the findings since it shows a year-over-year increase in average prices by over $40. The Star article indicates this must be based on fairly unscientific data, and I tend to agree. However, I would be more than willing to accept that the average price has indeed gone up by some amount. That's partly due to the operators offering much faster plans nowadays, with speeds of over 1 gigabit. And they're really pushing folks in that direction, adding more plans on the higher end. So while you can still get cheaper plans, the average plan that is available has indeed increased year over year. All right, well, we wanted to dig in a little bit and put the claim that Canadian telecom providers offer some of the best and most affordable telecom services in the world to the test. We looked at 5 different studies across both wireless and broadband, and the general conclusion I can see is that Canada is nowhere close to being the most affordable market. In fact, in many cases we looked at, Canada was the worst. Even the studies that the opinion piece points to in order to back up its claims use shoddy and misleading data to make a point that isn't really relevant to the pocketbooks of the average Canadian. You have to remember that studies cost a lot of money to conduct, so someone has to foot the bill. Usually that someone has a vested interest in the outcome, and so the studies tend to lean in that direction when it comes to their conclusion. I think I can confidently say without bias here that Canada is absolutely not one of the most affordable nations in terms of internet access. However, in terms of just how expensive we are compared to other jurisdictions, it is a little unclear. But it's important to dig deeper. When you read an opinion piece in the newspaper, folks who read that article but who don't dig deeper may be inclined to take those claims at face value. I also find it peculiar timing that we have the CEO of the Canadian Wireless Telecommunications Association, the lobby group representing Rogers, writing an op-ed in the Toronto Star stating how affordable and awesome Canada's telecom services are, all while Rogers is in a PR blitz trying to convince the regulators and everyday Canadians that they should be allowed to purchase Shaw. It's pretty clear what they're trying to do here. I recently did a video talking about the Rogers and Shaw merger in more detail. You can click the link above to watch that. But long story short, less competition usually means higher prices. I will leave that with you to think about further. Thanks for watching Technology Paul. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button and hit subscribe for more videos. I do post new content every single Friday. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.